You had some big moments last year. You win the College World Series. You have a big home run against Indiana State. What were some of your favorite things about last year?
Um, Man, that's kind of a loaded question. There was a lot of things to celebrate for sure. I mean, I think sweeping Dayton, at home. I think it was like our second, or no, it was our second home series. That was a lot of fun. All the way up to the first SEC, going to Texas A&M. It was a lot of fun. But I think the 9-1 comeback, the comeback win against Ole Miss in the SEC tournament was definitely a lot of fun. And then obviously the College World Series, that was great. With all the seniors and stuff on the team. Just getting to send them out the right way was definitely rewarding.
You guys are pretty driven, but a national title and all the titles that go with it, and just being on point every week like you were, how much time do you stop and take to just appreciate what you accomplished?
Um, I think that's something that's kind of difficult to do, just because as soon as you get done with the series, you had a game on Tuesday, so you kind of have to start preparing for that. But it was nice at the end to kind of admire some of the work that we have done and the amount of consistency we've had, and we were really deliberate in our training. We never really took off or anything like that, so it was a lot of fun to see the consistency of the group. And we're trying to me and Harrison and I are trying to recreate that with this group this year.
What's different about being a senior?
A lot of things. I mean, you don't worry about some of the things you used to worry about, and I think my biggest concern is helping the younger guys and making sure they're on the right path, and being the leader being the best leader I can be. And I got to play with Julian Infante, Ethan Paul, and Steven Scott, and all the seniors last year, and they taught me a lot and they helped me grow as a player. So I'm just hoping I can do the same for the younger guys on this team.
You've always hit the ball well. I think you came here with an injury. You've hit the ball well in spells. You had your path blocked because it's a national title caliber team here, pretty much year in and year out. What's that like, sitting and watching? What did you learn from that?
I learned a lot. I got to catch behind a really good catcher my freshman year, Jason DeLay, and then my sophomore year we had Steven Scott and Philip Clark, and I learned a lot, really. I mean, there's many lessons I picked up, but I think the biggest thing was just understanding that the team is the most important piece, and it's not something that I learned necessarily, but it was something that was kind of reinforced to me once I got here. Just understanding the team's most important thing, and just sometimes you got to step back and be the best cheerleader you can for your team.
You went through the draft. I believe you got picked by the A's, which are a pretty good organization for developing players. It's a risk to do that and come back. Why did you make the choice to return?
I mean, it was a really weird kind of situation, because I got picked, and it was like one of the most exciting moments that I had. But at the same time, we got a super regional to play, so it kind of just went to the wayside. And then once the season was over, we won a national championship, and I got the time to really sit down and think about it. And it was just a weird time, just because we had 13 players get drafted and every single one of them signed. So it was kind of feeling like, well, maybe I should sign, that's what I should do, but I just didn't have the same feeling about it that everyone else did. And talking to coaches and things like that, I knew I had a weird feeling about it, and I knew that I just couldn't put a finger to what exactly it was. But through talking to coaches and my parents and lots of prayer, I figured out that this is where I needed to be, and I haven't looked back since.
How do you handle that? Because yours is a little more complicated. You have the year that you can come back. You're playing postseason baseball. How do you handle all that? Because I'm sure it's hard to block all that out all the time.
Yeah, it definitely is hard to block out. It's definitely something that's not easy to do. But I think the excitement of the team, and how, because there's so many guys getting drafted, so I think it was a matter of just like celebrating other guys, because I was so happy for those guys. But at the same time, we had a super regional to play. Things were kind of going our way. We had a chance to go to Omaha, and that's something that I wanted to do ever since I got on campus. And that's one of the reasons I came to school. So we were so close to getting to the goal that it was kind of just took a back seat, and we just focused on the super regional.
Tell me about the lineup this year. Going to be a lot of new faces in. What do you see as you go through practice?
I'm really not sure. It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard to tell. We're a young team. It's a completely new team. I think there's going to be a lot of growth that takes place over the course of the fall and in the beginning parts of the spring and preseason. And I think I'm not sure. I don't want to make any. I don't want to set any expectations or say anything just yet until we play another opponent.
Do you ever face these arms that you have to see all the time and go, good grief, I'd like a break from some of this?
It's a lot of fun. It really is. Getting to play, getting to because most of the time I'm catching them, so I understand what batters are going through. But sometimes it gets lost how difficult these guys are to face until you actually step in the box against them. And yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun to compete against them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.